And while man has fallen in this pit, this material consumption emptiness that he's found himself in, now the conditions are right for these illuminated, supposed light bringers to appear and offer mankind the remedy to bring himself out of this darkness. The very same darkness in which they dug and created for him within this environment of materialism. So that's the dough that they've been working on, that they need to now, because it has become leavened, it is destroyed the entire lump, the entire format of this society, this system, our civilization, materialism. Now, the baker that was sleeping, he's going to rise. And in the morning, it's burning as a flaming fire. Well, now the baker is wakened to the destruction of this lump of leaven by burning fire, which symbolizes the second cup that is needed as the sacrifice to awaken the Antichrist, quote unquote, sleeping baker. There's a clue here that connects us to further symbolism of the identity of the baker as this light bringer, or symbolized with this light bearer. And it's going to be, it burneth as a flaming fire. Now, the material that they do plan to bring is Revelation 13, verse 13. The fire from the sky had the power to bring this fire from the sky upon the entirety of the globe. Okay? This will be the fulfillment in one manifestation of this verse here. That in this morning, the very morning of their sacrifice to usher in the New World Order, he's going to be awakened by this burning, flaming fire. But he himself is considered a flaming fire. If we were to go back to Joel 2, like I said, just real fast, it's worth seeing this because we're going to connect it to something else. The same language is applied in the same order. First, we have this symbolism for the morning. Associated with it, we've got this line, a fire devoureth before them. That's going to be the locust, this great army. And as I said, the second cup is the very same chapter of Revelation 9 that describes this smoke, and then out of the smoke then come this locust. The smoke is symbolism for the second cup, which is further symbolized as a falling star, but in reality will be made to look like meteors or asteroids. But it has at its root, its very root, the symbolism that they're trying to convey with bringing this meteor or flaming mountain of Revelation chapter 8, verse 8 to the world, even to the east coast of the United States, is to fulfill what they believe is symbolically connected to the fall of the light bearer to this world itself. We get a good clue to that because in verse 3, this fire that devoureth before them is now talking about the army of Joel 2, which is the same fire that's connected, taking place at this time of the dawning of the new age, aka the morning, right here in verse 6. But like I said, the symbolism goes to the actual baker himself as being a burning flame. So like I told you, that the second cup, even though it's going to be something that they bring to the world as a material event and destruction, made to look like asteroids and meteors, these hailstones, it's ultimately to symbolize his fall and his descent into our world. This is why the morning is also symbolized with this flame that burneth, because now we see that, yes, there is a fire that's going to be burning too at the time of this morning. But deeper into this, we see at the same time the symbolism is connected to who was behind them. That's their king Apollyon, who is being symbolized as the flame that burneth. That's going to be a lamp. In ancient times, the light in the darkness was given with a candle or a lamp. He continually tries to portray himself as the light bringer in the darkness. This is the symbolism for this flame that burneth that was behind them. He's the source. He's the light source for the illumination of the army of Joel 2, aka the locust. So him being honored by this sacrifice of the fire that's going to devour, aka the second cup. I told you they're trying to symbolize him. So now you see that, yes, he is symbolized as that very flame that burneth. That's deep, right? Well, this is the proof. This is going to be Revelation chapter 8, as I said, verse 8. And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. That's the second cup. This is going to be that asteroid-like destruction that will take place off the coast of New York City. And you can bank on that. It's being symbolized as a great flaming mountain, but the symbolism goes further and now begins to describe it as a great falling star, aka this great star. It's connected to the great dragon, great Babylon, Babylon the Great. This is the symbolism for the fallen light bearer. And look at the way he's described. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, as it were the light bearer. And as we can see, that in this very ancient time that originally this star fell, its goal was to pollute the waters, even the very fountains of the waters. And we know that this is in chief symbolism to his goal was to attempt to pollute the very water word of Jesus Christ and to make it bitter, to make it angry, to make it wrathful, to get you to disassociate from it. So yes, this second cup, which is the second trumpet, which is now a great mountain that's consistent with Revelation chapter 18, verse 21-22, the great millstone, which destroys commercial Babylon totally, is now being symbolized as double Revelation chapter 8, verse 8. Now we see the second trumpet is the second cup. This great mountain is the millstone. But just as I said, they're trying to symbolize the millstone as that original falling star that's trying to pass itself off as that lamp. And when you know all of that, you can connect it to the deeper understanding of exactly who this baker really is that they're ushering in with this sacrifice in the morning, symbolized with fire. Talking about the timing and the cycle of the morning. Let's talk about 2012, December 21st for a moment. A lot of people are confused because they believe that that actually marks precisely the end of the cycle of the ages as they shift from one zodiac sign into the next. In other words, we're supposed to be leaving from Pisces, entering into the age of Aquarius. My point that I want to show you here is that just because December 21st, 2012 has passed does not mean that we're out of the end of the age. It does not mean technically that we're even out of the 13th Baktun, and we're not. We're still in the dawning. And dawning literally means both night and day at the same time, simultaneously. which would connect us to the very same philosophical idea that they have of wisdom, that it is both male and female occupying the same space at the same time. I want to show you something that's going to kind of help you see how we're still in the dawning of this new age. We have not yet seen them actualize their New World Order. We have not yet seen this army, this very strange army, this great people that we've never seen the likes of. In other words, this new race, this master race show up. We're still at the end of the 13th Baktun, going to experience the judge or the judgment of the wicked judge, the 13th judge of Israel, the Danites, aka these ancient mighty men. Dan, anagram, rearrange the letters, DNA. The DNA is symbolism for the crossing of the genetics, which is also symbolism for the twisted cross. It's symbolism for even X marks the spot as being the goal, the chief goal and agenda for what they needed to implement in order to achieve their plans.